My name is Eliza.
My name is Elsie.
My name is Ebenezer Tufo.
This is Rosemary Gacy.
Over the past 14 weeks, I have been part of CTL Africa's 15-week growth journey, and it has been a blessing for me. I want to share my lessons with you.
Indeed, my attitude to life has never been the same. On the very first day I joined the virtual Personal Growth and Leadership Masterclass organized by Center for Transformational Leadership CTL Africa under the tutelage of Mr. Samuel Ayim.
First, the law of intentionality. Second, the law of design. And third, the law of the rubber band, the law of expansion.
The law of intentionality, the law of awareness. Then we have the law of the mirror.
Looking at how intense these laws are and how much impact they're supposed to make to our life.
My value obviously is not the same. The program indeed satisfies my quest for knowledge. So I encourage you to be part of this journey and also become an encouragement to others.
I will recommend CTL Africa to everyone who hears about us.
It has been a blessing to me, and I will encourage you to be part of CTL Africa's 15-week growth journey.
So we thank Mr. Ayim, and we thank CTL, and thank you for listening to us.
God bless you as you make a move today.
I have been blessed, and so you be blessed. Thank you.
We spend a lot of time developing our professions, but we don't spend time developing ourselves. Look, as a leader, as a professional, you have to grow. You have to grow yourself. And to be able to grow yourself, you need to know yourself. A lot of us are not achieving the maximum we can achieve because we have not invested in our personal growth. So we are bringing you this special studies based on John C. Maxwell's book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. And we're going to just spend time with you and help you go through the principles that you need to be able to grow your person, to become a better person. Because if you become a better person, you become a better leader, you become a better father, you become a better professional. Do not miss this opportunity, as the masterclass is going to be very practical and discussional. It is going to be a limited number of people. So please register now to be part of the program. There is a popular saying in leadership that if you think you're leading and there's nobody following you, you are only going on a walk. On this platform, you are going to learn principles of leadership. You are going to encounter different leaders. You are going to learn about how you can grow as a leader, how you can make an impact. My name is Samuel Ayim, and I'm the host for the leadership platform. I am a leadership coach, a lawyer by profession, a John C. Maxwell certified coach. I have been in corporate life in senior positions for several years, and now I run the Center for Transformational Leadership, where we train and coach leaders to become better leaders. And I invite you to go on a journey with us as we discuss the subject of leadership in the coming weeks. This and every Saturday, you have opportunity to ask questions, share your views on important leadership matters. Hello. Good evening, everyone. And thank you for joining the leadership platform this evening.
My name is Samuel Ayim, and I work for the Center for Transformational Leadership. And I'm excited tonight to be with you to discuss and learn leadership lessons. And this evening, we are very, very excited to have two seasoned HR professionals to share some ideas with us. We encourage you who is connected to like our Facebook, to subscribe to our YouTube channel. But at this point, we encourage you to share the link to your friends, to your colleagues, to your bosses, to your team members, because we are going to learn. And by the way, we have HR professionals in the house. So all of you who are working for any organizations, you know the important role HR plays. So we encourage you to come into the room and to interact with us and with the HR professionals. So please go ahead, if you are on any of the platforms, to introduce yourself and let us know where you are joining from. Whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, whichever platform, please go ahead and let's share. Today is probably going to be the last time, our last session on the lessons from Live to Lead. And this evening we are focusing on the HR professionals. So go ahead and share your where you are joining from, your name and where you are joining from. I see my light is misbehaving. I don't know if it's the light or something else. I hope you can see me and hear me. All right, good. So go ahead and let's see where you are. And by the way, the growth journey, the fifth cohort has started, but we still have room for a couple more people. So if you're interested, please contact us and sign up for the leadership platform. The next class is on Tuesday at 5 p.m. We are starting to share leadership growth lessons, and that will help you to develop yourself, to have a plan for your life, no matter where you are in your leadership, in your growth. You can do better. So we encourage you to join the growth journey, join many of the middle level, senior level professionals and corporate executives who are improving themselves and growing through that lesson. So please go ahead and let's see where you are joining from. I can see William Darfur connecting from Tema. So William, as always, we thank you for connecting. I can also see, just 1 second, let me just check what is going on with my light. 1 minute, 1 second, just. All right. It's still not that one. So Daniel Ajololo is joining from Ashaman. So Daniel, you are welcome. All right. So we are not going to waste too much time. This evening, we have two seasoned HR professionals. We have Akosia Asamoah, who is the head of HR from the Energy Commission. And we have Samuel Jampo, who is the head of HR for DVLA. Because they're going to talk and share ideas, I'm just going to bring both of them to tell us a bit more about themselves, and then we will go into their sharing. Both of them, as HR professionals, brought their teams to Live to Lead, and we want to hear from them. Why did they bring their teams? How did their teams benefit? They themselves as HR professionals, what lessons did they learn at Live to Lead that they can share with their colleagues, heads of HR, that they can share with their colleagues, members of staff and bosses, what are the things they learned at Live to Lead that will be beneficial to all of us. So at this point, let me introduce and bring on board Akosia Asamoah and Samuel Jampo. All right. So Akosia and Samuel, you are very welcome.
Thank you
very
Mr.
much.
So we'll start with the ladies first, and Akosia, tell us a bit more about yourself, and then Samuel will tell us a bit more about himself before we start.
Thank you, Mr. Im. Good evening, all participants. I'm glad actually to join the leadership train this weekend, and I believe you're also excited to be part of the session. I trust that we will benefit from the session this evening. Thank you, CTL Africa, for having me as well. My name is Akosia Kunedu Asamoah. I'm the Deputy Director, HR and Admin for Energy Commission. Prior to joining Energy Commission, I was with GCNet as the head of HR, and also I was with EcoBank as the Deputy HR Manager prior to joining GCNet. I've worked in a number of organizations, and I believe that the learnings or whatever experiences we have from these organizations will impact our session tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Akosia, for that. We appreciate you. We know that you are part of the family, and wherever Akosia has been, he's brought people to Live to Lead. She's been coming to Live to Lead, I think, maybe for the past we've done 6 times Live to Lead. And I believe, Akosia, you've been part of all the Live to Lead we've had.
Yes, I have.
Yes. And she's brought people from GCNet when she was there every year. Since she went to Energy Commission, she's brought people from Energy Commission. And Akosia, we thank you so much for investing in your people. We appreciate you. Good. We have Mr. Samuel, my namesake. He says he's second Samuel. So this evening I'm first Samuel, and I have my brother and my friend Samuel Jampo on the call. Sam, you are welcome for the first time on the leadership platform. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
So much. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Okay, thank you very much, first Samuel. I'm excited to be here this evening, and the Live to Lead. This year's one is my first time of joining, and it was an exciting time. And I wondered where I was all these years and missing out on all these great sessions, but I believe that it's not too late, and I have joined the right family. So my name is Samuel Jampo, and I am the HR manager in charge of resource and development at DVLA. And I have been with DVLA for close to 5 years now. And my experience spans across telecom, consulting, and government. I am passionate about leadership development. I am passionate about learning and development, and also women's football. So I am also a member of FC Epiphany Women's Football in the Division 1 League. So thank you, Mr. Elim, and I hope we have an exciting time tonight.
Thank you. Did you say you play for the women's football team or something?
No, I am involved somehow. I don't play. I do off the pitch activities.
All right. We're just going to check out some few things to be sure how you qualified. But thank you so much, Samuel, and we thank you that for the first time you brought your team from DVLA, and we hope that they enjoy. Now, before we go into the meet, tell us briefly, I mean, what was the experience for you and your team members who participated? What is the feedback you're getting, Akosia?
Well, the team were actually very excited that they had the opportunity to join. It's their first time of joining, and they actually came back to me to thank me for nominating them to be part of the session. I believe they've learned a lot, they indicated, and it will definitely be reflecting in their jobs or productivity, we'll see how well they have learned and how well they also use it to benefit the organization.
Great. And Sam?
Yes, I think I have a similar experience and feedback like Akustia, and the feedback has been positive, and it's even a good basis for our leadership development program. So I am hopeful that the feedback I had received for the team will help us to join the next sessions.
Good. Wonderful. All right. So thank you both. We have quite a few people joining. Let me introduce a few other people on the line, and then we will come back to you two to share with us. So we have Maryland Aseye. The name is Akami Nkun, Maryland, joining through Facebook. She says, we have Fred Asare, who is glad to be here from the Village of Hope. We have Conrad Kakraba. He says, wow, this will be enlightening. Very happy to see my mom share her lessons. We have her ladyship, Cynthia Martinson, says, good evening. And we have Douglas Ekwamwabuatin. Douglas, thank you so much for joining. I'm glad to join today. God bless you. And I have my brother, Harry Yamson. This is going to be a great session. Go, Sam, he says. Go, Akosia. Thank you so much, Harry, for joining. I have Joanna Otima Edumensa, who is also joining us from Facebook. So thank you so much. We also have Jemima Kumi joining us all the way from the United States. So we have a broad audience for you, ladies and gentlemen. And we will start with Akosia. She will share her lessons, and then we'll continue with Sam, who will also share his lessons. And then we will interact with them. We will take your questions and contributions for them. And those of you who joined the previous session, you will see that even if you were in the room, you see that different dimensions of learning from different participants can be shared for the next several weeks. But this is going to be our last Live2Lead takeaway. So take away as much as you can from this great, great, great lady and gentleman. So we start with Akosia. Akosia, you are welcome back to share with us your learnings from Live2Lead. The stage
Thank
is
you,
yours.
Mr. Yim. And the session, the leadership session, which is the Live2Lead 2022, was indeed very enlightening. We had a lot of information, but then as usual, we have some takeaways, and I have some takeaways as well. So looking at the local group, or the local group that presented, Uncle Lebo, Mr. Patrick Ewa, Madam Kathleen Addy, Madam Gwen Addo, Madam Patricia Obonai, they all spoke about integrity. And integrity is one thing that is needed now more than ever. People are going to come with their certificates, their experiences, but then if you don't have integrity in the next decade, or in the next decade, probably that's going to be the number one thing that we will ask for in terms of employment. So what I will say is, in terms of integrity, honesty in business is what when we talk about integrity, looking at corporate, we are looking at honesty in business and the right character traits, someone with the right character traits, and someone who has sound judgment, someone who is honest, someone who can be depended on, and someone who is loyal. These traits are key in the success of an organization and in the success of an individual as well. And therefore, it shouldn't be taken lightly at all. We as HR practitioners will be looking out, or we are already looking out for those skills in individuals before employing. And I expect that individuals who also are pushing or garnering to become corporate leaders or leaders in whichever aspects of their lives they find themselves will go for integrity, because it's going to be the number one thing. So my learnings again, or the takeaways, again, is also on the 16 Laws of Leadership, which was shared by John Maxwell. And of this, he mentioned 4. Out of the 4, I will take one, which is my takeaway, and that is the law of leverage. And the law of leverage, it says that when one leads from his or her strength, the person or that individual finds his or her voice. And that's very important, because things that you are naturally good at, will come very easily for you, or things that you have learned and mastered will come easily to you when you have the opportunity to talk. Because he was talking about
We seem to have lost Akosia briefly. Her internet is a bit frozen, so we're not hearing Akosia. So let's try again and see if we can get Akosia back. She was making some very good points there. Yes, Akosia, your internet just took you away from us. So let's see. Let's
okay,
try again.
it
Yeah,
means I'm not on. Is that correct?
you are on now. You went off, so we're
Oh,
not
okay.
hearing what you were sharing. If you can just summarize what you said and
Okay,
get
what I
back.
said.
And your slides were not moving either.
Okay, that's fine. What I said on the laws of communication is that I have taken out the law of leverage, and that is what I spoke about. And so, under the law of leverage, it says that one leads from his or her strength. When one leads from his or her strength, the person finds his voice. And so it's very important that you have the facts, or the information you are going to communicate. You have that information before you go ahead and do the communication. And so that will definitely give you the opportunity to talk or communicate to the people that you are targeting, or else you won't be able to find your voice. And it's also about things that come naturally to you. Certain people have skills that come naturally to them, and so when they are presenting or communicating in those fields, it comes natural to them. So that's what I said. Now the third one I'll talk about is my about Eric Thomas, who says that we should tell our story, or tell your story. When you are telling your story, you definitely let people relate to what you are talking about. People relate to stories because everybody has one or two of such things in their lives, and they are able to relate better with you. So not all people are going to like what story you are sharing. And when you share your story, don't expect everybody to like it, but definitely some people will like it, as Eric Thomas indicated. And let's look at Osei Kwame, despite we knowing his background and what he shares, or what we have known. I believe it's part of the reason why people have patronized his radio station as it is, because people can relate, and it makes it possible for them to push on, because they believe they can also succeed when they move in that direction. The fourth one I have is about Dr. Tim Elmore, who talked about a new kind of diversity. And he looked at the 5 generations. And what I see, or what I took from there, is that he says we should listen to each other. That is the different generations. We should listen to them. It's very important that we listen to all. There's a need to have actually a bridge, not to sit at our different ends, thinking that I am a Gen Z and you are a Gen Y, and so we have nothing in common. We have a lot in common. We have a lot in common that we can benefit from. And so we have to look at some of these things, like launching a reverse mentoring program, even in our organizations, as was stated by him. And he indicated that, the older employees can take the younger ones by mentoring them and having a discussion with them, letting them know what will let them succeed in their roles or in their jobs, and at the same time what they can do to benefit themselves and the organization. Also, the younger folk or the younger employee can also help the senior person who is a much older person, because you normally will see the ages 21 to 24 as the new entrants, and you see probably from 55 to about 60 also in the same unit or department. And it's important they are able to gel and work very well. And these people, young ones, can share their social media skills with the seniors and even help you leverage or it help you monetize those skill sets that you have, so that your business or whatever project you are working on can grow. And beyond that, I actually came or zoomed in actually on what Patrick Luciani spoke about, and that is, he said, God gives us gifts. We all have gifts, what people will call talents. Others identify theirs early, others late. But then the most important thing is for us to identify our gifts and how to use them at work. And when we look at this, we will say some people talk about go after your passion, go after your passion. When you are starting your career and you do the go after your passion, it sometimes may not work very well for you because you are starting. But as you go, even in an area where you have some skill and start, with time, you are able to see what you are very good at, what your skill sets are, and then you'll be able to move to that area. By which time you would have acquired some other skills in the areas that you are working already, and it will all come to bear in the success of your career. So we look at a situation where we have 24 hours a day, that is according to Patrick, and 24 hours a day we spend 1/3 sleeping, 1/3 working, and 1/3 on our personal lives. And so he says that if the 1/3 we spend on our working lives isn't good, it will affect the 2/3 that you have. Your sleep won't go well because you cannot sleep well, and your personal life cannot, or you may not be able to organize yourself well, because the work actually impacts on everything that we do as individuals. And you won't feel that people can look at you and feel you are lazy or you are stupid, you are not smart, and that's why you can't do something. It is just that you haven't found that gift yet. And so we would want to look at the gifts or the 6 types of working genius. That is what Patrick Lencioni talks about. And it turns out that these 6 types of geniuses, which is wonder, innovation, discernment, galvanizing, enablement, and tenacity, make up the 6 required activities for any work endeavor. We all need it. Everybody needs 1 or 2 of it, or 2 or more of it. And so whether you are engaged in running a company, a department, a project, all 6 are necessary ingredients for success. So my takeaways here will be to say that 2 of the 6 things are your geniuses. People who have such geniuses, they don't easily get tired. They don't easily get tired. They have found what is good. They have found what their talents are and they are good at. And so they are able to use it better. And also, 2 of the 6 are your working competencies. What you can do that you don't feel tired. You can do it for a very long time. You don't burn out. But when you don't find it, you work on a project or you work in a field or in a unit, and in no time you feel so tired and burned out. And we will look also at others with the 2 of the 6, and those are those that working frustrations. It drains you, and you feel like you have a hole under a jar that you have in hand. You are just draining. It drains you. So when you're able to find your gifts, you definitely will become more productive. And so he says it's important to get employees to work in their geniuses because productivity is highest at this level. We get to do what we love because we work in our geniuses. Now, let's look at how these geniuses work. I have mentioned them already, so I'll skip this one. And we'll talk about the first 2 geniuses, wonder and innovation, as was indicated by Pat. These 2 have a natural ability to do things the same way, or do things something new. There is the need to use it more often at work for great results. The people who have the ability to come up with something new all the time, that is ideas upon ideas. And we have people who actually have ideas. I mean, when you are in a team and you want ideas, you are looking for ideas. Don't look further than don't look out. Don't look into yourself too much for the solution. Look out there for your team members. Call them. Some people have great skills. They can come with new ideas or innovations for you to work with immediately. I remember some years back when there was a project for us to work on. We needed a room to turn into a training session and then have a training session. We had this room. It was suitable, but then we needed a board. That is we are going to use an overhead projector, so we needed a board. How do we get this board? Flat walls, windows, and it was difficult. So I just entered one room, and I saw a big whiteboard. Then I looked at it and realized we could unscrew it because it was attached to the wall. So we quickly unscrewed it, brought it out there, and fixed it in the window because the space that was left for the projector to go through was just a window. And it's as if it had been cut to fit. It fit perfectly. And I'll say this is a sign. I mean, it was just an innovation because I'll say something just clicked. Look around and find something, and I just entered and found. Other team members have such great skills. It comes so easily to them, and so tap into them and get the best. The other two genesis are, I'll say, discernment and galvanizing, and those are with natural intuition, and they give advice and opinions easily. Most of the time, what they give is correct. They have really good judgment, and not everybody has it, but then they have some self-awareness, and so it can be readily beneficial to everyone who needs it. Others have the ability to do this, and they get people to do things which hitherto would take time to be done, but they have it. And I had a boss some years back. I mean, he was able to once you need advice and you come to him, he will quickly help you with it. We had a payroll structure or system that we were working on, and we will type these account details from, the length was quite lengthy because we had a lot of experts. And then he came up and he said, Akosia, why don't you just give them codes? Just give each account code so that you don't have to type it and send it to the bank. So this month we did it and we tagged it to code. So the current or subsequent months, all we did was we just indicated the codes and the amount the person is getting, and which worked perfectly. And this is someone who had, discernment, and he was able to help out quickly for us to achieve. Yes. And the third of the two genesis is enablement and tenacity. We have some people in a team. You can start a project. Most people start projects, but they can't finish. And when you have people in a team who can actually dot the T's, cross the T's and dot the I's, you need them to finish your events for you. They have the natural gifts for finishing events, and you need such people in your team. They are patient. They'll be able to work through it. Tenacity to work through it to really get it to the end. Not everybody has. People start, but they leave it in the middle. And when you have such people in the team, they pick it up, wrap it up nicely, and present it as it should be. And so, talking about these, it's become necessary for us as HR people to know that we need all the geniuses in a team or in an organization. It's very important that you have them all because they all come with different skill sets and you will need them. And so when we are hiring, we need to look out for such people. And then we need to also look at the gaps that we have in the team members, those who have gaps in there. So when we are recruiting, we recruit others with those genesis to help the team function much better. And then when people discover things about themselves too, they feel joy and energetic to go on and on and on. Some people may not know they have some of these genesis. We can tell them. We can tell when you hear people telling you about certain things, pay attention to it. Probably it's your gift that you don't know yourself, And so we see also people struggling in certain areas that they are not talented. Well, we normally will have, some all-round skill set, but to be really talented or have a gift in one, you need to pay attention, probably hone it so that you get the best out of it. And that's what we normally will see person's job fit. you need to be sure that the person you are hiring actually fits the role you have, so the person can perform very well. Some people are natural talkatives. They can do a lot of marketing. And so you definitely will want to match such people to the jobs that is there, and not someone who has all the qualifications for marketing, but they may not have that as well. So knowing this is better. So the individuals you need to know, your team managers or supervisors need to know, so that it reduces frustration in the teams. I like to wrap it up here and say that we all need Genesis, or we all need gifts to be able to function much better. Thank you very much. I will end it here and take it up later.
Thank you, Akosia. Thank you so very much. I know you have a lot more to share, and I have a few questions for you, but I would like to listen to Samuel, and then I will throw the questions to both of you as HR, and see how we can learn a bit more from it. Thank you so much. I've taken quite a bit of notes on the points you're learning and you're sharing. So thank you so much. Now we'll bring Samuel to also share with us his key learnings, and then we'll bring both of them to ask them some questions. And guys, come over with your questions. These are HR people, so we get ready, throw them some questions, challenge them, let's learn from them. We don't get them that often, so please make your questions ready. Sam.
Yes,
Second
Mr.
Samuel.
Imo.
Thank you
First
so much.
Samuel.
Thank you so much. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, and hello once again to everyone who is watching or listening to us. As I indicated in my opening, my introductory remarks, I said this is my first time of joining the LIVE2LEAD, and the experience was amazing. And for the local speakers, the theme that ran through was integrity. And two things really stood out for me. One from Patrick Awuah, that highlighted on the integrity pledge by Ashesi. And it is incredible that as young as the students are, they are starting with the integrity, writing exams without no supervision, and they signing that integrity pledge to say that we'll write exams and we'll make sure that we don't go contrary to the rules and regulations of examination. That is very powerful, and it's good that we start people from that level. It's even important that we go back to our senior high schools, our junior high schools, and started from there. And also from Uncle Ibo that said that he still believes in Ghana, and then his talk also gave me a renewed hope in Ghana. Now, going to my takeaways for the LIVE2LEAD, I have 4 key things that I want to talk about. And my first one is the law of preparations from John Maxwell. One of the laws of communication was the law of preparations, and he says you cannot deliver what you have not what you have not developed. And this is profound in a sense that as an organization, with a mission, with a vision, and with a goal, and the things we want to achieve, if we don't prepare or if we don't develop our human resource, we'll not be able to achieve what we want to achieve. For example, for my organization, we have 6 key strategic pillars, and these pillars are underpinned by another 3 pillars, like a people, process, and technology. So the people part is of utmost importance to us, and the people part ensures that the processes are followed and the technology is in use. So it is important that we develop the talent of our people in the organization. Like where we want to go, we need to give the people the needed skills to be able to deliver on our mandates and making them ready for the future of work. Nobody knew COVID was going to happen, but it happened. How do we retool? How do we rescale? How do we train people? How do we ensure that our people have the right skills, the right knowledge, the right abilities, and the right competencies to be able to deliver, to be able to meet the target that we set for our organizations? And the second one was by Tim Elmore on generational diversity, the competitive advantage. I mean, I often hear in my organization from the older generation that these young ones are not serious. These young ones don't know what they're about. And also from the young ones, they often say that these old people are frustrating us. And it all boils down to having an understanding of each other's generation. Tim Elmore talked about 5 generations: the builders, the baby boomers, the Generation X, the Generation Y, that's the millennials, and the Generation Z. And all these things, all these generations are in the workforce. And we have a particular one where we have the Gen Y, that is the majority of our staff population. And how do we ensure that our policies, our programs, our strategies are aligned with all these generations? Because it's important that these generations work together. And I think Akosia mentioned about reverse mentoring. So it is important that we combine the wisdom of the old and the energy of the new. We let the older people mentor the junior ones, and also we do reverse mentoring, where the younger ones with the digital skills, with all the knowledge that they have, where we are moving to the digital age, be able to mentor the older ones on the skills that they have. And the number 3 is working geniuses. Working geniuses. Akosia has spoken extensively about the working geniuses, and she touched on the 6 types of working geniuses. And I think I will not belabor this point a lot. All that I want to say is that when we are recruiting, we have to ensure that when we have a team, we should have people, or we have employees that have all these skill sets. You can have a team that the manager complains about a certain employee. Is understanding of the manager of the genius of the employee. So it is important that we equip leaders or managers with the understanding of these geniuses. How do you manage them? How do you understand your people? Where are their strengths? What is their strength? What can they do best? Are they wonder? Are they invention? Are they inventors? Do they discern? Do they galvanize? Do they enable? Or they have tenacity? Leaders and managers and supervisors should be able to understand these things, and we should be able to equip them scientifically to be able to determine the strength of the people on their team. And also forms part of our recruitment strategies that when you are recruiting to a certain team, or when we are forming a team, we should also understand that we should put a team together, a team of people that have different skill sets, so that each team member can leverage on the other team members. And the last one is by Eric Thomas. Eric Thomas spoke about 3 keys to effective leadership. And one of the things that he mentioned was a powerful why. And this really resonates because everything that we do as an organization stands on why. Why do we do the things that we do? Why do we set up this organization? Why do we have to wake up in the morning and go to work? Why do we do the things we do? It is important that as leaders, we should be able to cast a powerful vision. We should be able to cast a strong why we do the things we do. And I say that once people understand the why, and once people are given the necessary knowledge, they're able to determine how we do these things and how we can achieve the why. So it is important that we give employees something to believe in, casting a strong vision, and also aligning people to the vision that the organization has captured, making people believe in waking up in the morning and coming to work. So Samuel, these are my 4 takeaways from the LIVE2LEAD conference.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Sam, for those great sharing. And thank you, Akosia. I have a few questions for you, but before I go on to the questions, Kofi and Abigail, if you're ready, we'll just take a short break to share with you our running program, the Growth Journey, and invite those of you who are joining for the first time. We have a 15-week program that we have been running for the last year. we take 15 people and take them on a journey of 15 weeks. And by the end of the 15 weeks, you're going to look at various aspects of your personal growth, and we equip you with principles, ideas, practices that will transform how you look at your personal growth. And hopefully, almost everybody who has gone through this program have reported a change in their growth pattern. They have a plan now, and they are living their lives and their growth intentionally. So, Kofi, if you want to share with us, then we will come back and have interaction with our speakers.
Hello everyone, my name is Elsie and I'm excited that I just completed a 15-week journey with the CTL Africa team on the 15 Laws of Invaluable Growth by John C. Maxwell.
From the law of pain, I also learned that every problem introduces a person to himself. Honestly, till you face a problem, you wouldn't know the things that you actually have within you.
The journey for me personally was a wake-up call. Before I joined this journey, I wasn't actually learning at all. I wasn't adding any knowledge to what I knew.
So the law of trade-off is saying that you have to give up to grow up. So things that I think are not going to have maximum impact on my life, I have to trade them off.
I want to grow. I am not stopping now. I am continuing. And as far as I'm concerned, like it says, you cannot give what you don't have. I definitely will have to give what I have learned off to others and then get more so that I can continue giving. I am not going to be a reservoir. I am going to be a river, and therefore I'm going to continue learning to be able to give of my best.
Ordinary people can achieve extraordinary results on a consistent basis if they have a system, if they have a plan.
Thank you so very much. And let's have our speakers on. And I just noted that actually Akosia is one of those who've gone through the 15-week growth journey. And maybe Akosia, you want to share a bit. This is just catching you off guard, but if you want to encourage others who may be considering the 15, because looking at your level, your growth already, your professional experience, did you think that the growth journey was useful for you? You are muted.
Thank you, Mr. Im. The growth journey was useful. And I'll say useful because personally, I was doing things, but I wasn't intentional about it. And like the law says, one of the laws says, or it's the law of intentionality. You have to be intentional about whatever you want to achieve. And so I had to be intentional about growing. And so I needed to make time to grow, time to read books, and not just, haphazard. Anytime you feel like reading a book, you read. You set yourself time. So you are you always have a schedule. And so that actually keeps you on track. And also, when we talk about the law of growth, the law of, how do I call it? Generally, about the 15 laws of growth, it gives you experiences, or it tells you things that you need to know to be able to grow. When it comes to the law of intentionality, as I was talking about, immediately you are not intentional about what you want to achieve. You see that you drift off. Gradually, you are off. You can start saying, oh, I want to learn every day. I want to read books. Write it down. Note the things that you want to do in a book. Make sure it's reminding you. Set alarms to it and make sure you focus and do them. And so when you put yourself to that, you realize anytime you are wasting time, it catches you off guard, and then you go back to it. And so I keep telling others. In fact, it's something when I went through, I immediately gathered all the children and all others that I know. I told them to go on the leadership journey as well, because it's indeed a very good program and it will definitely set you on track. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Akosia. And actually, it's believed that some people say, "Oh, why did Jesus fasted 40 days? How did Moses do 40 days?" Now, by the time you go on the growth journey, you would have done your 40 days, and we keep you into a discipline where you have every day something to do before we meet the next week. And once you go through that regime, psychologists believe that doing something every day for 30 days establishes your habit. So 30 days, 40 days, you then develop the habit. So we take you in this on this journey with the 15 weeks. By the end, you would have developed the habit of being intentional about your growth, the habit of setting time aside for your growth, the habit of reflection, and the different habits over the period. So most of the people who went through it saw it very useful, and we encourage you. The next cohort is starting. I think we started last week, but we have a couple of room. I think we have 12 people already, so we have room for 3 more people. If you are interested to join, please get in touch. We've just done introduction, so we have 15 weeks to go. So you can still join, and we'll give you the catch up. All right. So Akosia and Sam, thank you so much. And there are a few things you raised that I want us to drill down a bit more. First, Akosia, there was something you talk about, passion, and when you join, when you start your career. I got the impression that it is over time that you can discover your passion. Can you please elaborate on that? How does how do organizations help people to work in their passion area, in their geniuses? Because organizations need somebody, and then they just bring you in, and they want you to do what the organization needs. And people want jobs, so once they see it, they come and they say, "I can do it," and we put them in the job. And we look at their CVs and we say, "Oh, this is good." But how can organizations tap into people's true passion, true geniuses, true competencies, and put them in the right places? So it's to you, but it's to both of you. I would like to have your both of you your takes on that. Um,
Okay. So I would like to add a little to it. So, as I indicated, sometimes people know what they want to do already or what they are good at already, they've been told. Other times, it is by the doing other things, then you discover what else you can do better. And so you also sometimes get compliments from friends, from colleagues, oh, you are good at this, keep it up. And then that builds the confidence and you would want to do more in that area. And for organizations to be able to use the skill set employees come with, it's important that the employee himself or herself is available to join projects, to join groups, to do, I would say, almost everything that comes up for you to handle. Things that come up, and sometimes you are looking for people to volunteer, you don't get because they don't know they can do it. It is until sometimes you yourself have identified the gifts in them, and then you bring them into the groups that they come to realize that, oh, I didn't know I could do this. It's just like probably the law of the rubber band. It is how how long or how you can stretch yourself will determine the capabilities or the skill sets you have in yourself. And so employees should embrace projects. They should embrace whatever roles they are given. If you come in with a particular skill and there's a new project and you are called upon, avail yourself. You don't know what you can add to what you already know. And sometimes that is going to unearth the talent or the gift that you have. And so that's what I'll have to say. Employers will use them. Yes, that's why we throw several things at you, several jobs at you, do it. And he even mentioned an example that someone was a lawyer and they realized that person was very good at, I think, IT or so. and they rather put the person in there, and the person found himself perfectly there. And so was combining both roles. And I normally we know that people don't have one skill. We normally have more than one. It's just that we excel in a few. And so it's those that you excel that we expect you to focus and then shine. And so that's what we will do as employees. We'll make sure we use your skills, you avail yourself.
Great. Thank you so very much, Akosia, for those thoughts. I think you're frozen, but we'll go to Sam. Sam,
Yeah.
what is your take on that?
Okay, thank you, First Samuel. To add to what Akosia said, I think that we should also use the scientific approach in assessing the individual strength. For example, there are so many, when you're doing recruitment, there are so many assessment tests that determines where a person's strengths are and what they can do better. And using the widget geniuses, I mean, it's a scientific approach to assessing people's strength. So I think we can also use the scientific approach of conducting assessment to determine the strength of each team member and then placing them appropriately. Also, adding on to what Akosia said about taking on jobs and feedback and other roles, for us as individuals, it is also important that we do continuous assessments and evaluations of our activities and of our strengths. Feedback from colleagues, feedback from supervisors. We can even do a 360 feedback assessment to check what we are doing well, which projects that we do well on, which assignments that gives us the adrenaline, pumps our blood to do better, which ones that we don't do so well on these areas. And for maybe taking a step back to the student, how do we know where your passion lies or what you want to do? It also starts from internships. You do internships in different departments to understand what they do in different jobs, able to realize which one comes easily to you, which ones you do at your fingertips. So I think this is what I will add to what Abuja said.
All right. Thank you so much, Sam and Akosia, for those thoughts. Let me just ask another question and then I'll go to our participants for their thoughts. Please put your questions in your chat and comment sections. Now, both of you talked about the working geniuses. But we find that at the workplace, sometimes things are so rigid. And so and sometimes people's ideas are not even harnessed enough. So gathering from this, how do we improve the workplace system? What systems can we put in place as HR, as managers at the workplace to be able to actually capture the ideas? Because sometimes you find a lot of good ideas float at the canteen tables, at the corridors, but the people who have actually some of these ideas, they don't come into the meeting rooms. They are not in the management room. In fact, when they're meeting and they knock the door, they are pushed out. Hey, God, seniors are meeting here. I mean, so what systems can you as HR people help to be able to capture some of these floating ideas, ideas from most innocuous places, from drivers, from cleaners, from different people who are not at the decision table? How do we do that and improve it to be able to capture these ideas? Maybe you can share your experiences in your different places also with us. That would be very useful. Maybe Sam will start with this one and Akosia will continue.
Okay, thank you very much, Furthermore. Okay, so oftentimes some of the problems will stem from the understanding of managers or leaders in dealing with their teams and communication. So one thing that we can do is continuous development of managers to be able to understand these issues, to be able to be open to ideas and be able to be open to new ideas from their team members. Another way is what I call the idea trophy. It's something that one of our colleagues in the office came up with. The idea trophy, where you put it out there, that anybody or any a particular team or anybody who has any idea or any brilliant idea about how we can fix a thing, how we can reduce a thing, how we can increase anything, any ideas that would change our work processes, should submit that idea, and there will be a special award for that. So we can also create that environment that if you bring any idea, if a team brings any idea that improves the organization significantly, there's some form of reward. And also we can have a feedback sessions with employees where during our meetings, during our departmental meetings, unit meetings, all these ideas will float about, and even anonymous feedbacks that if you have an idea and you have been sharing and it's not getting through, you can submit your idea through this channel. So these are the three areas that I think that if we approach it this way, be able to solicit all the ideas that have been floating around to reach the top.
Thank you so much, Sam. Hosea, you are muted.
I'll add on to Sam. Sam has listed quite a lot, and I'll say that job rotation is also another area that you can use to be able to get people to do what they are expected to do, or to be able to find themselves. And then you have to also have an open door policy to be able to welcome ideas. And with the HRs, especially, if you have your doors always closed, then sometimes even in the offices, your door may be open, but you are not approachable. And so, whether the door is closed or not, you yourself should make yourself approachable, such that people can talk to you. People can talk to your team members. If they can't even come directly to you, they can still communicate through your team members. And then we can also have some, boxes at vantage points where people can throw in ideas. So just general ideas that you can throw in if you want to also send by mail, because we normally, in the past, in the organizations I worked in the past, we had innovation teams, and you can just send in whatever ideas you have. And like Sam said, you'll be given an award if it passes through the team committee and it's found to be worth, pursuing. And so these are some of the areas that we can get, that kind of information. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Sarah is on the line, so I'm going to bring Sarah just in case she has some questions or comments for you guys. So Sarah from Geneva, you are welcome.
Thank you. Thank you to our speakers for really educating us today. So I just wanted to find out, now that you have all these tools and these lessons from LIVE2LEAD, what is the one thing that you have put into operation to bring change about and to open this environment that you are purporting to create? What concretely have you done? It doesn't mean to, I don't mean that it has to be a big thing, just a small step. What is one thing that you are implementing right now, following your investment in yourself and your team's investment in LIVE2LEAD?
Thank you, Sarah.
Okay, so Samuel, will you start or I do?
Yeah, go ahead, Samuel.
Okay, let me start. Thank you very much, Sarah. Okay, for my organization, we have started our leadership development program. So the LIVE2LEAD is attending the LIVE2LEAD is only an affirmative action that it is important that we continue on this journey that we have started, because I believe using the Pareto 80-20 rule, our leadership forms 20% of our population, and then if we're able to harness the change that we are looking for in the leadership, it automatically triggers down to the entire organization. So it is important that we will be fixing in understanding the leaders, their strengths as leaders, and also a better understanding and appreciation of the diversity of their team that they work with, to be able to manage it and ensure that our employee engagement is always high. So this is one thing that it's in emotion.
Okay, thank you so much, Samuel. And Akosia, over to you.
Okay, so the need also, we will also need to make what we've learned known to all the management staff and the supervisors. And especially when we are talking of the 6 Genesis, for example, some may not know about it. And so it's important that we let them know so that they can make the best out of their team members. And also, we need to get the managers to inform HR of the gaps of these geniuses in their teams, so that when we are recruiting, we can actually look out for such skills sets and such, skill sets for them. Again, we also need to ensure that we also need to let the staff themselves know what they can do with the gifts that they have. If they have gifts and they sit on it and they don't use it, it won't be beneficial. They need to come out, let their team members know what they have and what they can do to support. And I always tell new staff, especially when they come, that when you sit and expect your supervisor to bring you jobs to do, sometimes they won't. Just reach out. Oh, can I help in this area? I saw this. Can I give an idea about? Can I exchange something, an idea about it? And then they will welcome you into their teams. So you yourself should actually move, come out, and then you will be used. Also, we need to ensure that whatever we personally in my current organization, we have what we call we normally have it's normally a monthly session, and it's actually a learning forum. And so in these learning forums, we share different ideas, things that the various units or departments are doing, so that each staff knows what the organization itself does. We also sometimes will bring speakers to share knowledge about, leadership, and all the other things that all the other skill sets that are needed for employees. And so we are going to continue to do this for our teams, and I believe it will definitely impact on the organization in the long run. Thank you.
Yeah, to give you a little push, so I guess you've also been trained in working with the geniuses, right? Is that correct? Yeah, so Sam is there. You have Sam on the ground. If you need the speakers, he will be there to really give you a little push to your teams, give them a little presentation. So I'll stop here and hand over to Sam. Over to you, Sam.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. And by the way, we are we're able to, Sarah and I together, we're able to help you to do the tests of the working geniuses for your teams. Okay. And that will be a starting point. And I know that at Akosia last year, we had a rebroadcast of LIVE2LEAD to your team, and they learned quite a bit. We did that also for Gridco and INSEA and a few other organizations. We've already started. We've just done a rebroadcast to Heritage. On Tuesday, we're going to do another for another team tomorrow afternoon. So the lessons that we learned at LIVE2LEAD are now available for those of you online that could not join LIVE2LEAD. Talk to your HRs. We can come and rebroadcast this to you and help your organizations. All right. So at this point, I'll let Akosia and Sam take some water, and then we will listen to who is on the line. All right. I have George Akpabli Senior says Joyce and George are joining on Facebook. All right. Carl Clarkson, glad to be part of the initiative. I have David Broom online. Emmanuel Asamoah says, great job, well done. David says, glad to be part. Regina Ohi Kwe says, happy to be part. Doris Atta, thanks so much always for inviting us, watching from Accra. And Harry Yamson says, Gen Z, Gen X, millennials, all still share values. And that is what is most. And Harry, thank you so much. You've reached out. We would invite you one of these days to share a bit more of this for the platform. Abigail should take note of that. Doyo, Rosemary from Lashibi, Rosemary Amano from Lashibi. Okay, Kwaku Royal is on fire there. Anthony Cole, Adu Broni says, awesome. Akwesi can come. Wonderful presentation. Thank you. Patricia Abnakisi, my big sister, how are you? Great presentation, great lessons. Well done, Akosia. Her Ladyship, Cynthia Martinson, great presentation. Thank you, Sister Akos. Joanna, says, go, brother. Michael Asamoah, a very clear and precise presentation. Akosia, a very clear and precise presentation. Paul Lavwo, Lavwo. Sorry, I've crucified your name. I'm Paul Lavwo, watching from Kaswa. Thank you so much. Dixon Amankwa, great delivery from both speakers. Love what the second speaker just said about integrity and understanding your team. Dennis Aye from Sakumono is here. Good to join once again. All right. Manuel Fifi is here. Thank you, Sam. Paul says, good presentation, Mr. Jampo. Abna says, great presentation, Samuel. Thank you. Stefania Daphne Ray said, very educative lesson from both presenters. Kudos, Sam. Good. Thank you, Daphne. Thank you so much for joining. Dixon has a question, and I want both of you to note it. Okay, for the second speaker, can the second speaker highlight more on the power of why? All right, so Sam, a question for you there. Okay, I don't know if this is your name, Full Staff Home. I don't know, that's not your name. It says, great session, Akosia, happy to be here to learn. George Obin, we are proud of you. Well done. All right. I'm not seeing any questions. So Rosie Beata, excellent, Akosia. Erica says, great job, Akosia. Uncle Tete, Samuel, I'm really loving what you are bringing up, and I'm really learning a lot. Good. So people are learning a lot. Tete Anthony says that. Kwame JB, joining from UK. Great. Thanks. Maryland, I see you. Great. This was a great session. All right. I think that's it. David says, great presentation. Maryland, both speakers delivered very well. Great. And Darfor says, awesome presentations. Okay. So I guess there's only one question on the table for now. So let me take your thoughts on that, and then let's proceed. Yes. Sam, there was a question for you.
Yes, the power of why.
Yes.
Yeah, so one of the things the speaker spoke about was the power of why, and he basically was asking, or was talking about casting a strong vision in that, why do we do the things we do? Why do we have the company? Why have we established a company? As a leader, you should be able to explain the purpose of the organization. So the purpose or the cause or the belief behind whatever we are doing. So as an authority, why do we do the things that we do? Why are we a company? Why is our name like this? Why are we selling the product that we are selling? Why are we in the service or doing the things that we are doing? That is the purpose, the cause, or the belief behind the things that we do. And it's important that the people in the organization understand why we are doing the things that we are doing. It's not like, oh, I just have to wake up from work. I have to wake up and then come to work just like that. But there must be a cause. There must be something that I'm believing, that whatever I'm doing here, or as an employee, whatever position I am and whatever I'm doing, it's leading to the cause or helping the cause of the organization, or it's further entrenching the belief of what we are doing. So a powerful why is important for people to be able to align to the vision of the company. So once you know why you are doing the thing, then it becomes easier. Then it follows with the how, the action that we have to take to realize the why. So why are we in this business? People must understand. The organization must understand. The people that you work with must understand the cause or the purpose or the belief that of whatever we are doing. That determines the how. So the how is the action that we take to realize the why. That if this is the cause that we believe in, then this is how we are going to do it. And then the what, it determines the service, it determines the product that supports the how and also supports the why. So I believe that a powerful why it's important because once that
We seem to
why it's,
yeah, we seem to be losing
it
sound.
helps with aligning people to the vision and ensuring that you have the right talent and they are engaged to ensure that your cause or your belief is achieved.
All right, thank you so much. I wonder if Akosia wants to add anything, but apart from the organizational why, every person, you must have your big picture. What is your purpose in life? Why do you do the things you do? A lot of the time we are just focusing on what we are doing and how we are doing it. Now if you're just focusing on what to do every day, sometimes it get boring. If your job is just what, but if you have a stronger purpose and you can put your life into a bigger picture of an overall end, why you are here on this earth, why your role is important. If you have that motivation ingrained in your spirit, it gives you more energy. Akosia, I don't know if you want to add
Yeah.
anything to that.
I think you have taken the wind out of my sail. So
I'm
I would just
sorry.
start.
Okay. And
I
also
was,
to
I
add to
was,
what
okay.
you said, a personal why also determines the kind of job you do and the things that the steps you take in life as an individual. Your why determines your how and the what. So as you said, it's important that as individuals we able to also examine our whys, and our if our whys matches with the kind of organization we work in, then we have a seamless integration. So it is also important that, as you said, to have your personal why that determines the actions that you take.
Great.
Okay. So I think it's just about the same. So the why am I here is the one question that we need to always ask ourselves. Why am I in this organization? Is it by accident? Do I have a reason to be here? If you know why you are there and you ensure that the reason why you are there is benefiting the organization, it will end up benefiting you yourself because you have a reason to it. But if you don't
But
have a reason,
I'm here, Akosia. I'm here because I need salary.
you need salary. It's just salary
Yes.
that you need. Salary is important because it helps us achieve some of our goals as well. Because as an individual, if you are not getting any monies, you definitely will not be able to survive well. But you will succeed, you'll be more successful when you know the why you are at whatever place you find yourself at that particular time. And that is what will open you up to learn more, to want to know more, to want to do more, so that you can grow and succeed. If you don't have your whys, you will actually be found wanting. Yeah. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. All right. I guess we're drawing to the end, and I say, Hector, my big president, my DOSA president is here. He says thanks for the presentation, an excellent presentation from Rosemary also. So I guess I'm going to give each of you 2 or 3 minutes to wrap up with us and give us your closing remarks. But for those of you who have joined new, Kofi, and you can share the link for the growth journey, and we would encourage you people to join the growth journey. And as we're getting to the end of the year, we are going to come with our conference on Put Your Dream to the Test, which we've done for the last 2 years at the end, beginning of the year. Put Your Dream to the Test, 3-day sessions to help you define your dream, to take your dream from just dreaming to reality. And we're going to share great principles that will help you to be able to make your dream work and not just a new year resolution. And so we would encourage you. We'll be coming with the details very soon. Get prepared. Either at the end of December or early January, we will do that for you. All right. So on that note, oh, okay, I see a question just popping up from William. what are some of the strategic measures HR can do to make more room for other staff who are in lower levels of the organization to also bring their ideas on board? I think the two speakers have shared quite a bit on that question again. So maybe you just want to recap for William if he missed that one. So each of you can share that. And then Tete says, please, for you to get an answer to a personal why question, how many whys do you advise to be asked to get onto the appropriate answer? Yes. So why are you here? For salary? Why salary? So how many whys do you have to ask before you get to the why? So those are two questions. So please, any of you can take them or any of them or both of them quickly, then we can come to your wrap up. Thank you.
Okay, so there's a recap on the first question. I think one of the ways for ideas to go up is a continuous engagement with leaders or managers to conscientize them to be able to be open to feedback. And another one is, as I mentioned earlier, an idea trophy or a challenge where you put in place a system where people can submit ideas that will significantly enhance the organization, and you reward them for it. And also you have feedback options where either you place a box or you make it easy for people to submit feedback, whether personally or anonymously. So these are the three things that I said. And the second question on how many whys, as many whys that it will take you to understand your purpose, as many whys that will take you to get to that powerful why. So that's my answer for the two. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sam. Akosia, any thoughts on any of those questions? Okay, Akosia seems to be frozen. All right. So your why is your call, a superior purpose, a higher purpose. So until you get to that higher purpose, and that purpose should not be selfish. It's not about you. Okay. If your answer is about you and what you are going to get and the benefit you're getting, that is not a bigger purpose. It's not a big idea. Okay. So your why should be something that has a purpose to impact the world, to change the world, to make the world a better place. It should be something eternal. I think last week somebody I think the lady from the Minister of Finance shared that your why should also be linked to your spiritual purpose. Why God brought you onto this earth? What answers are you going to give as to what you did with your life? So your work is just a small part of you. What you do every day is a small part of you. So you want to be able to go deeper into your core, your raison d'etre. Why am I here? And why is this work that I'm doing important? What is it going to do for others? I believe so. The why should go on until you get to that purpose. All right. Akosia will come back. So we'll go to Sam to share his closing thoughts with us. Dr. Asekwa Mwabuatin says, great presentation. God bless the speakers and the team. And Limitless Wealth International, whoever is that, says very educative. All right. So Sam, give us your closing thoughts.
Okay, thank you very much. And thank everybody for joining us. I think there's been an interactive sessions for the past 1.5 hours. And as we leave here, I want us to leave here with three key things. Understanding our whys, as we have dealt with. I will not belabor that point, but it's important that we understand why we do the things we do in the organization and also as an individual, able to determine why we do the things we do. Once we reach that point, then whatever we are doing doesn't become painful. It becomes joy. It turns into joy because we understand why we are doing the things that we are doing. And also, we should be able to understand our strength, our geniuses. We are all geniuses. So we should be able to understand where our strength lies, what we can do best. And as leaders, as managers, we should be able to also understand our team. And as team members, we should be able to understand our other team members. What are their strengths? Because where their strength ends or where their weaknesses ends is our strength. Where their strength ends is where we also pick up. So we should be able to understand our own strength, our own geniuses, that these are the things that I can do best. These are the things that I cannot do best. These are the things that my teammates can do best. Once we understand those things, it helps us in working together effectively. And the last one is developing yourself so that you can deliver when the time comes. Developing yourself means preparations. Just like someone said, taking the growth course, going on a growth journey, reading books, attending trainings, self-development. So developing yourself so that when the time comes, you are ready to deliver. Thank you, Samuel.
Thank you so much. And Akosia is back. So, Akosia, as you give us your closing thoughts, Aseye says you mentioned that HR should
Hello.
be approachable.
Hello.
Yes, Akosia,
Hello.
can you hear me? Hello, we can hear
Hello.
you. Hello, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Akosia. Yes, we can hear you. All
Okay.
right. Seems Akosia
I'm
cannot
so
hear
sorry. I
us.
think the network. I can hear
Okay.
you. I can hear you.
All right, we can
I
hear
can
you
hear
too,
you.
so that's great.
Yeah.
So Asay is asking, as you give us your closing thoughts,
Oh,
Asay
so
is asking, you said HR should be approachable. I want to ask how that HR can be approachable without him or her being seen as lenient. Sometimes HR people have a reputation of not being accessible. So, how can you approach this person who is not seen as lenient? That's the word Aseye uses. So, you want to please address that, and
for
then you
me, I
give us
think
your
that
closing thought.
this is a question.
Yes, Akosia, go ahead.
Okay, doesn't mean you shouldn't when you have to. And for me, I always say it's important you communicate to people. Take your time to communicate to people. Whatever you want to do to the person, you will communicate. So if it's a no, why do you say the no in such a harsh manner that will hurt the person rather? It's still a no. I will tell you a gentle no, and it's still a no. I will stand very firm on my no's. And it's important you relate well with people. So when you have to turn them down, they understand that it is not about them. It's about a policy that you are trying to push across, and that's you actually you are the custodian of the policy. And so you have to find ways of pushing it or making sure that it works. So if you are lenient and you always have to crack the whip, and I remember in my former organization, one of our seniors would say, because I'm even nice to you, I'm the one that you are most, not wicked per se, but you deny me so many things. And I say, I don't deny you. I show you what is right and what is not. And so when you tell people the right things, and because you are close to the person is able to actually voice out when he or she feels, not well treated or not helped in any way that you want. But it doesn't matter. You don't have to be, you don't have to frown to Fianan as one person. Very gentle, soft-spoken person. But he was very powerful. There's something wrong. It's not right. It's not right. So my takeaways will be: let's always get to remember our genesis, which is I've coined it as Word gets, and you have to always remember wonder, innovation or invention, discernment, galvanizing, enablement, and tenacity. We all need this or these. We all need these. You need two or more to be able to function perfectly. Employers need to know, employees need to know themselves as well. And it's important that we continue to learn. It's very important. I keep telling employees that yes, your organization will always put together a training program for you, but you yourself, you are you 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 have a skill set or a skill that
I think Akosia's internet doesn't want us to take her last words.
Sharpening that skill. The farmer who goes to the farm all the time will take time.
Well, unfortunately, we are not able to capture Akosia's last words there, but
you couldn't hear
I guess me. Yes, your internet swallowed your.
So let me try and remember what I said. I'm saying that we should remember the widgets, which is the wonder, wonder, innovation,
Yes,
discernment.
I think we got that one.
We got that one. Okay. The other bit I was saying is that as employees, yes, your employer will train you or put programs together for you to develop. However, you have a skill. You have a skill that you are always selling. How are you honing those skills? So you have to personally invest in yourself.
All right. Okay. So, and she said also that you should not be shouting. If you want to say a no, just say no simply in a nice way, so that people are not upset. All right. Thank you so much, Akosia and Sam, for doing us the honors. I think Akosia's net is not too good at this point, so we want to thank both of them, Akosia and Sam. Just stay on for a couple of minutes. But for the rest of you, it's 7:31, so it's time for us to bring the curtains down. At this point, we don't take your participation for granted. Yes, we are here to provide you with this platform to learn and grow, but we know that you can also go to anywhere and do so many things on your Saturday evening. So when you choose to be on the leadership platform, we truly appreciate you and we want to thank you for being here. We hope that this has been good session for you. And until we come your way next week with another speaker, with another great topic on the leadership platform, we say God bless you and have a very good night. And tomorrow, being Sunday, let's go to church and thank God for your life and worship Him. Good night and God bless you.
Hi, dear friend. My name is Samuel Ayim, and I'm the CEO for the Center for Transformational Leadership. And I'm bringing to you the growth journey. We've set aside 15 weeks of growth to help you to be intentional about your growth. Where do you want to reach in your leadership? Which area of your life do you want to grow in? Growth doesn't just happen. It has to be intentional. So in these 15 weeks, we're going to have a special coaching sessions with you to be able to grow to where you want to grow. And to be able to grow yourself, you need to know yourself. A lot of us are not achieving the maximum we can achieve because we have not invested in our personal growth. We're going to help you in all and more within these 15 weeks. Every week we'll have a session with you. This program is limited to only 15 people. We're going to have 15 people for 15 weeks, and we're going to learn 15 great growth lessons on this journey. So make a date with us and see you on the growth journey.